we do that? We don't become blind to everything around us, but we have an incredible desire to help ourselves. You know how people say, "May I help you?" Ask yourself, may I help myself? Give yourself permission to help yourself. Because if you're always thinking about making the change, but never doing anything about it, you're never going to see that change. Facing my eyes, facing my eyes.
Good morning and welcome to finally Friday, and we are definitely facing challenges as we do every Friday. Are you with us? Do you accept the challenge? Today we are talking about facing the odds. What are the odds of our being able to face challenges? Today is finally Friday. We welcome each and every one of you. When you face the odds of something, we're going to be finding out if you're doing that. And I say good morning to all of you. Today's podcast is facing the odds, challenging yourself to face the odds. Facing the odds is our challenge today. And the song that I've chosen for today is Phil Collins, Against All Odds. Against All Odds. To give you some inspiration as to what facing the odds is all about. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, lines are open. They are open, and we want to talk freely. This is a safe space for you to do exactly that. Are you ready? We're going to be talking about ways to challenge ourselves, but first, we must understand what it means. How do you beat the odds? How many of you have ever heard of beating the odds or challenging yourself against all odds?
I have.
And what's your take on that, on what it means?
I think it means that just continuing to be resilient regardless of how things may possibly turn out or how they have turned out, to just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. And anybody else can do that as well. As you see, I had to put the board up a little bit. We are directing you to our YouTube page. Trish has done so much beautiful work, and we want to say thank you to Trish for that. As my co-host, thank you so much. Facing the odds, as Trish said. What are the chances that you will continue to do something regardless? And the expectation if it will still happen. What are the chances? Sometimes people say that facing the odds is something like facing a challenge. What about beating the odds of something unexpected that you wish to succeed in? How many times has it been that people have faced the odds, challenged themselves against all odds, and have come out successfully? That is beating the odds. So, what are your chances of beating the odds that you've had to face? What's that been like for you? We all come from different backgrounds, cultures, family dynamics, but how have you beat the odds of whatever it is that you have been through just as soon as maybe this week? A lot can happen in the last 5 days. A lot has happened, and a lot will happen. How will you be able to look back and say, I beat the odds? You know the word impossible? I think about when people say, what are the odds? That's like them saying, what are the chances? The first word I want you to think about today is, I'm possible. I'm possible to beat the odds. You know, when people are going through some sort of trauma in their life, they get the strength, the will, the determination to do what? To say, I'm going to beat the odds. Now, when we think about certain things that people could not beat the odds, I think of cancer. And there was a story about someone who said they're going to beat this. And you say, what are the chances of them beating cancer? Because not all cancer is terminal. Well, for the ones who have succumbed to it, the fact that they wanted to challenge themselves is a win for me, though they be not here anymore. The fact that you were willing and you are a participant in saying, I'm going to beat this. You see what happens? It's the attitude of your wanting to challenge yourself. Your attitude of what you're up against without knowing the unexpected, without letting anything stop you. That is a win for me. How about you? How have you made the difference of beating the odds despite anything? You are a willing participant. What is your probability of you being able to challenge yourself to something beating the odds? You know, when we think about attitudes, okay, something as simple as an attitude, how are you doing with that? I want you to realize that attitude is everything. It will make or break whatever it is that you're facing from past to present. You know, I'd like to liken this to seeing people skateboard. How many times have you witnessed skateboarders Maybe you've seen it on TV. I've seen it in real life. I want you guys to take a moment to think about a skateboarder and what they're up against. We're going to give you a skate park. In the skate park, there's always a big round bowl of something that they're skating into or onto. And they're doing all these tricks and turns and flips and you name it, they've got it. And you see them, and there's all sizes. Young people, older people. I've seen older people doing it, grown people, I should say. And they challenge themselves. What are they up against? Well, remember the object that they're skating on? They're either going to ride up that ramp or ride down it, and they challenge themselves. And you wonder, as they're challenging themselves, are they going to make it? You know what's interesting about a skateboarder? They will risk it. Are you a risk taker? Do you risk, and I mean this in a good way, and not playing Russian roulette, but being able to challenge yourself to say, I'm up for the challenge. Challenge accepted. And in their reality, what the skateboarder wants to do is win. Are you like that? Are your weeks filled with you're up against something, but the objective is to win or to do your best, beating the odds? Monday morning comes, and maybe the weekend was a little rough. Maybe you had too much fun. Maybe you didn't have a lot of fun, and you dread going back to work. Monday morning comes, you're up against something. It's Monday. I don't want to get out of bed. Or it's another Monday, and I'm going to do this thing. We all have choices. Here's the saying that I like. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. Or a challenge. When someone says, I challenge you. By the way, we're going to play a little fun game called Beating the Odds. Wouldn't it be great if we all woke up and said, I want to be productive and motivated? How many mornings have we dare said that? Good morning to everyone that is here today. Good morning to you. What are you all thankful for? Let's start with that. We're up this morning. Each day is a day for you to begin again. Let's do that. I am thankful for fixing the car issue that I had this week. What are you thankful for, Trish?
I am thankful for finishing my assignment from yesterday because I did not understand that. But I got it done. I finally understood how to do it.
Great. We start our days off with being thankful for something. Always be thankful for something. We have good days, we have bad days, we have unexpected things that come up. And sometimes it can feel very much like your whole world is falling through. But what's your plan? What's your attitude when you are dealing with unexpected challenges, but you still show up? I want you to think about it. How do you get a good start? Many people get a good start by doing coffee. They get their coffee and they say, this is going to be a good day. That's an attitude, right? Because your attitude is what? I'm going to have a good day. You start out that way. You get your coffee, your tea, or whatever it is that you do in the morning. You and I are responsible for our attitude and our choices from the moment we get up. Think about the responsibility that you have. Here's another saying. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. I'm going to say that one more time. And I quote, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. When you create your morning routine, what is it that's going to color the rest of your day? From the moment you pour that pot of coffee or get that tea or get your Starbucks, what is your day colored like? Let's pretend that we have a box of crayons. I'm sorry about the noise. Just 1 second. I apologize for having to take that short break. So we're beating the odds, but then we have to know exactly how to get to a good start. What do we do for your routine? What are you doing? Some people exercise, some people reflect. But what do you do? What do you do, Trish, as you color your day from the very beginning?
I start my day out with my day has to start to color my day for a happy day with some good uplifting music. That's what my day has to start off with.
Love that. Love that. How many of us are centered that we're feeling like we got this? A lot of people will tell us, hey, you got this. But are we telling ourselves that we've got this? We're centered. We know what we want. We're looking for opportunities. We are focused on life, being focused. When we're focused, we are at our best. We can be focused, and while we're focused and centered, we're concentrating on doing what is present. And I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you have felt anxiety? How many of you feel anxiety?
I have felt it before.
Yeah, felt anxiety. How many of you have felt fearful? I felt fearful.
I have.
Yeah. We all get emotional, and sometimes our emotions run high in a good way and in a more challenging way. And sometimes because of the three things I just mentioned, we aren't at our best. But let's get connected to being our best. And right now, we're going to do three things. Ready? I want you to take 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale and exhale 3 times. Did you feel yourself becoming calm? Did you experience calmness, Trish?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. The reason why I ask you to do that, because that helps you to focus on what your breathing pattern is. The more that you realize that you have a pulse and a beat, the more that I want you to practice how you're going to use it. Sometimes in the thrust of the day, we're rushing around, and many of us need that coffee. We really do, because that's a thing. I want you to take responsibility for your challenges and learn to develop those 3 things. Slow, deep breaths. 3 times. Do that if you need to throughout the day. Here's another saying. When we talk about attitudes, every morning we start our show off with, what are we thankful for? Here's something inspiring. The value of a moment is immeasurable. The power of just one moment can propel you to success and happiness, or chain you to failure and misery. What do you want to be? The more that you appreciate, the more that you become aware of things. Just in the 3 steps that we did on focusing on our breathing, did you become aware to even hear the sound of you breathe? How many of you have ever stopped to think about the sound of you breathing? How many times do we really listen to our sound? You got to experience sound and the feel of how it is that you breathe. Be aware of that life lives inside of you. Do you appreciate it? We ask you, since we have been on the program, what are you thankful for? Why? Because it helps you to think about not taking life for granted. And in the moment, as you think about it, we want you to experience it seriously. Because let's face it, how many times do people really ask that question? What do we focus on these days? Are we focused so much on our challenges, if we're going to fail or pass, if something is not going well? Are we focusing on the experience of life every day? because some of us are always in the negative. Imagine, if you will, if you have bank accounts, checking accounts, if you were always in the negative. What happens when you don't replenish the negative to a positive? Where is your balance? You have to add to that negative standing. So in life, you have to add to it. What are some blessings that you've had? Some small victories that you've had? And if you're not there yet, I want you to start being grateful for at least one thing in your life. And if you can't find it in the morning, here's what I'd like you to do. Think about it at night. What was something that was a small victory for you for that day? Try it with your kids as well. And you will begin to change and challenge yourself toward beating the odds. What are you beating the odds of? You're beating the odds to keep from the negativity. And what do we do when we think about our attitudes? Maybe you had a delicious meal. When was the last time you had a delicious meal? Can you remember?
Yesterday.
Yeah. What about the last conversation? It was a really great conversation, and you both partook in the conversation. One didn't dominate over the other. When I say conversate, you interjected, you participated, and that's what Vibe Talk is all about. It's all about that. And have you experienced that? How about a moment of relaxation? Have you been doing that against all the odds that have happened in your life? How about just being happy that you woke up today to experience life? I always say this, and this I mean. Someone has not woke up. Good morning. Good morning, Jackie. If you'd like to come over on Facebook Live, we are here. And we are streaming everywhere. Where are you from, please, and thank you. Where are you from, and welcome to Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Where are you from? We are live and we stream everywhere. We are on Spotify and iHeartRadio. Um, Redding, California. I know it's hot there because it's hot here. I'm in California as well. High desert. How many of you are getting comfortable with maybe something that has not changed in your life? We're not talking about the things you wish would go away, but the environment that you live in can be very discomforting, but you can't change it, or so you thought. Go ahead and click on the back of our board there. If you're looking at it, it's clickable. It's on the left side of your page. And that's how you are at our YouTube. Please follow us there. We need our page to grow. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Here is another inspiration. Do you really want to look back on your life and see how wonderful it could have been had you not been afraid to live it?
That hits
Yeah,
me.
how about that? And why so? Go ahead, Trish.
I think about that all the time. Like, it's just last night before I went to bed, I actually thought about that. I was wondering, what if I like, what are the things that I want to do that I didn't do because I was too afraid? And I just think about, what if I had the option of 6 weeks to live, and I would sit there and just regret the things that I didn't do instead of just going ahead and doing it.
Our YouTube page is available. In our YouTube page, if you touch that, okay, and in order to find our YouTube page, just 1 minute, thank you for that. I'm helping Jackie from Redding, California. Look in your YouTube under Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. And our Facebook is under the same name, actually Vibe Talk. You want to try it one more time? We're on Facebook and on YouTube. Can't miss us because that lion is there. Just trying to help her. Yes, I like that. Sometimes we feel uncomfortable because of obstacles in our lives. Like now, we have a street here. One of our main streets is all chopped up because they're fixing it, and it makes me uncomfortable. But does that mean that I don't go on that street? That's our main street. So there are times that makes me feel uncomfortable. And so I go as I plan. You ever feel like that in life? That your life just feels like, what in the world am I doing here? How many of you have ever felt like that?
I have.
Yeah, you want to tell us about it?
I felt like that when I was deciding what I wanted to be in life. So I was wondering, like, this doesn't fit. Like, where am I at? Like, this doesn't look like the way that I want it to be right now. Like, what's happening? And so that I had to sit and reflect and see what I wanted to do in my life. That's because that's about my career, the career I chose. Because my parents wanted me to be a nurse like my dad, but I was like, nah, that's not me. So I had to sit and actually think where I wanted to be in life. So yeah, I've thought that before.
Here's a thought. When we're feeling unpleasant emotions, okay, the more comfortable that we are with that, we'll step up and choose something more empowering. How many of you are not afraid to feel disappointment? Is there anybody? How many of you are not afraid to feel disappointment? Anybody? How many of you are not afraid to feel fear? How about this one? How many of you are not afraid to feel embarrassed? Well, likely your responses have been, no one wants to feel disappointment. No one wants to feel fear, and no one wants to feel embarrassment. I'll tell you what, those are three of the most discomforting feelings. But don't let it stop you from being who you want to be, who you ought to be, and who you are. Beat the odds to positive changing. You can choose positive change even when you feel discomfort. So now, you've got your list, or do you? Your list of priority, what's in your life. If I ask everyone to do a priority list, you most likely are going to have a different list from everyone else. What are your priorities against the odds? Here's another quote. There is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. You want to be at your best. Be clear about what your aim is just for the day. Just for the day. Thank you all for joining us. Please be sure to come back again. We're here. And watch out for our streams if you have iHeartRadio and YouTube or even Spotify. We are wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Being at your best. If I ask you today, what does your day look like? Do you say, I don't know? Or do you get organized and prioritize? See, I'm not an organized person. And I'm working on being more organized. What are the most, and I want you to pick 3 of them, important items in your life that will make a big difference in your day? Life in the day of. What are the 3 most important things that will make the biggest difference in your life? Organization, clarity in my life, and being able to stick with commitment. 3 things. If you've got 3 things, please share them with us.
I
When
have
you
mine.
think about, go ahead, Trish. Go ahead.
My 3 things are to make my life a big difference in my life is confidence. I really need that. I need courage and determination.
Love that. You guys see how I didn't put Trish on the spot like I usually do? Thank you, Trish. See, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast makes you want to speak out because you're looking at yourself. You have your own lion. Don't look at anybody else's lion because you have yours against all the odds. What I want you to do is, how can you respond to your day's activities and get the results that you want? You ever felt like there was not enough hours in the day to get what you want to get? I'll tell you a funny story, and this is really funny. Now, yesterday I started out and I wanted to have a nice long day at my other job. And I started out early enough. I went to my car. Car would not start. And it was like 3 hours of not getting the car started. So much goes on throughout our life, our challenges, our obstacles, beating the odds, come what may, it comes. And guess what? About 3 hours later, I realized that the original owner to the car that I bought gave me a key. Listen to this. A key, an extra key to the car that I bought. Come to find out, it didn't click on me that I had gotten this extra key, and I'm using that extra key, which does not turn on the engine. but opens the door. I don't know if you all remember back in the day, we always had one key that opened the door and one for the ignition. Your parents, if you're 18, your parents will tell you about that. Those are the kind of keys I have to my little sports car. Car was not starting. My day had just went, or how did it go? I'll tell you. I figured out that I had the wrong key to the car after trying to get it started, after trying to get it jump. And guess what? I had the wrong key. When I put the other key that I had taken off my ring that goes to the ignition, guess what? It started right up. 3 hours of this. How did I respond? If you're a praying person, I did pray because that keeps me calm. But I was late from starting my day. What's the moral of the story? Remember when I said having the right key? Yeah, that's it. Do you have the right key to start your life or start your day? Here's something, quote, don't settle for average. Bring your best to the moment. Then whether it fails or succeeds, at least you know you gave all you had. We need to live the best that's in us. Quote, unquote. Back to the keys. Having the right key matters. And how you use the keys of your life makes a difference. Be at your best, or you can end up stuck, distracted, and go down the spiral of negativity. It's your choice. Stay on the positive for always. We're going to be right back. Right back. Stay tuned.
Facing the lion is always positive. And so I ask you today, as we are going to be facing our lions or challenges of the week, what did you face this week that was challenging?
We are back. So, what do we have here? How do we beat the odds? That is the question. Beating the odds requires something from us. Having a good start, having a grateful attitude, and what was the other one? Focus on your priorities. Getting a good start, I think, is one of the best things in life to think about. Getting ourselves squared and balanced. I think it's important for you and I to challenge ourselves, to achieve, to be the type of people that say, we're going to challenge this and we're going to play this. Right now, we're going to do something I think is very fun. You may not think it's fun, but it is fun. This game is called Beating the Odds. Yeah. And we're going to try a few of these. And let me know how you feel. We're going to do these. Because I like games, but I like games that are fun. I like games that are challenging. How many of you have ever bit a slice of lemon? Anybody?
I have.
How did you feel about that?
It was very sour.
Very, very sour. Yeah, what was your reaction? Maybe a little squinting?
Yep.
Yeah, beating the odds. Yeah. You've tried it. You've challenged yourself. How many of you have imitated an old lady or an old man in voice, character, or in dialogue? I have.
I have. It's funny to me.
Yeah? You want to share it with us?
I'm a pass.
Well, I have an old lady that I do. I have an old lady that I do, and I haven't done her in so long. And one time I called my mom, and I pretended to be this old lady. And to see my mom's reaction on the phone, she didn't even know it was me. Yeah, and I do this old lady. It's a mixture of many things that I've seen, and it's kind of funny. So now, beating the odds. How many times or can you spin yourself around the room or spin yourself around 10 times and walk across the room? Have you ever did has that ever happened to you, or you've done that to someone else?
I have.
Yeah, yeah. How did that make you feel? What are the odds of you doing?
I was very, very dizzy.
Yes, yes. How about licking your nose for 30 seconds? Your own nose. Have you challenged yourself? Doing the chicken dance. Here's one. I don't know about this one. I don't really care for this one. Smell everyone's breath and guess what they ate? That could be dramatic. What are the odds of us doing that? How about this one? Dancing around a nearby tree and giving him that tree a big hug afterwards. I know a lot of tree huggers. Literally.
I've done that before.
Yeah. So you've done that. See? This is all against the odds. Things that make you feel uncomfortable and you try it out. How about eating a cup of dessert without using your hands? Have you ever done that? Yeah. How about this one? I like this one. Put 3 marshmallows in your mouth and sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm. I like that one. Hula hoops. How many of us like hula hoops? When I was a little girl, I used to love to do hula hoops. But now, can you hula hoop for 2 minutes? Yeah. And you can even use an imaginary hula hoop. I actually had one of my clients that sent me a video of them hula hooping. I thought that was great. How many of you have moonwalked across the room? Like kids used to do that all the time.
I have.
Yeah, yeah. Um, there's other ones here, but I like that one. Um, the older ones are like, how many have gone to the refrigerator and ate or drank the first thing you grab blindfolded? That would be good. I need to try that. I need to try that. Anybody's done that?
No, I'm too scared for that.
How about imitating your favorite celebrity for the next 10 minutes? Yeah. Or speaking in a French accent for the rest of the day. That might get me in trouble. So I'll pass. How about this one? Address. I love this one. Addressing, having someone address you as my lord all night. I love that one. I love it. What are the odds of you doing that? Uh, I've done this one. Drawing a fake mustache with the pen. And my little nephew still remembers me doing that. I took a Sharpie and drew him a beard. He loved it. Couldn't get it off though. Um, how about giving yourself a new haircut? See how that works. These are all fun things, guys. And even in life, we realize that life is not a game. But even in our lives, we're challenged with things like this. Challenge yourself. What are the odds? Make it fun and safe for yourself. Um, there's a lot of ones you can do. Um, what are the odds of you calling your parents and telling that you're moving to another country? My mother wouldn't believe me anyways. She knows I'm a California girl. It is about what you want to do. Something that we really did or something that we really don't want to do. Facing the odds in life. That was a fun little game. Thank you all for playing. We're going to come right back with Trisha's Treasures and stay with us as we are talking about finally Friday, facing the challenges and facing the odds. We'll be right back.
Facing the odds, facing the odds. Talk, facing the lion. helps you to be strong and face all your fears. Yes, inspires you through tears, motivates your mind and cause you fight on. Despite any kind of challenge you accept, oh yeah, you will want to change and transform your life. As you think about it, you can chill for a bit. As you take care of you, you know there's nothing else to do. Oh, vital, yes, vital.
We're back. And now to Trish's treasures. Trish?
The odds. The odds is something that it's a reveal about me. I'm kind of afraid of the odds because I rather go into something by knowing the outcome. But for me, I know that it's impossible to know what's going to happen next because life throws you different situations and it doesn't always turn out like how you want it to be. And I know that when I do something, for example, when I make a song or something, I always have a plan. But sometimes the song doesn't turn out the way that I wrote it, and no one's going to no one's going to know that unless nobody knows that but me.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine. I was saying that sometimes when I write a song, it doesn't turn out the way that I planned it, and sometimes I don't reveal that because the way that it turns out is like, wow, that's better than I imagined, or that's way better than the plan, the blueprint. Because sometimes the blueprint, you look at it and it's like, okay, this is how I want it to look, but I wanted the house to be green. But now that I look at it, it will look so much better if it was red. Like, it would look so much better if it was like that. And that's how it is with odds. I remember when I was younger, I used to be afraid to, like, laugh in public. Or when I was in chorus, I would be afraid to add my own spice to the songs when I was given the lead in singing. But when I did that, I when I was afraid to do that, when I look back at it, I was like, I think of it as, what if I did that though? What if I did it in a different way? What if I just went with my gut feelings and just did it the way that I wanted to? And because of that, now I go with the feeling that I have. I go with the feeling in spite of the odds. It's in spite of me being afraid of what the outcome is going to be, or they won't like it, or it's not going to be the way that I planned. But I come to find out that sometimes the odds, they help you. They help you, and they are important because they teach you lessons and they teach you other outputs that you didn't see, other point of views that you never saw before. But now that you look at it, it's different. So with every odd that you have, or with the odds that you are facing right now, you can use them to your advantage. And the odds, they may look kind of, they look hard right now and they look unbearable right now. But with every odd, comes a lesson. With every odd, you can find a solution.
Thank you for that. Every week we're here beating the odds because we don't know what the human reactions are. But here's what we do know. We know by beating the odds against all the podcasts that are out there, people are listening. So we took that chance. Also, here's a point before we go. Do you remember when you were a kid and you played the game I Dare You? That was beating the odds. You know, as kids, we're inexperienced. We learn from our environment. And as we grow older, we're teenagers, inexperienced, and we may have done things that we never thought we could do. Life is like that. But as you grow into yourself and grow into your confidence of not being afraid, not feeling embarrassed, or not feeling like the odds are against you, you're going to discover something about yourself in waking up your lions. I bid you, please, to take the challenge because the game of I Dare You or the game of beating the odds that I gave you a sample of is all about taking risk and coming out of your comfort zone. We've been doing it all while we were kids. Do not let becoming into yourself make you feel fear or discomfort. Thank you to my co-host, Trish. Thank you. Thank you to all of you that have supported us. We are streaming everywhere. Don't forget, if you haven't got enough of us, we are on through our sister station, Vibe Talk After Dark, hosted by myself, and this is where we play smooth and chill music on Saturday nights. Don't forget to join us. If you don't hear from us, know that you can always find us streaming, and we'll get you the newest one out just as soon as we can. I want to thank each and every one of you for beating the odds of being with us here at Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Our last question before we go is, what have you learned and discovered about yourself, and how did it make you feel? I'm going to tell you how it made me feel. It made me realize that I have beat the odds. And I've been doing it all along since I was very young. In having this discussion with all of you, that's what we've been doing our entire lives. And how does it make me feel? Like I have achieved something. How about you, Trish? What did you learn about yourself or discover about yourself, and how did it make you feel?
I learned that I have to remember that life is not just about either you pass or you fail, or you win or you lose. It's about the process to winning and the process to taking the chances to whatever I lost in, to try to continue to do better the next time or to learn from it. And this podcast made me feel it made me feel determined to continue to try and put forth my effort in doing things. So, in spite of the odds and me not knowing the outcome, and it also made me feel proud of myself because I've made it through lots of things in spite of the odds, also.
Facing the lions. Facing the lions.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We welcome all. We are a live and interactive podcast. And if you'd like to join us, even when we're not on live, you can still answer the questions or comment. We welcome you. Have a great weekend, everyone. I challenge you. Are you accepting the challenge? Until next time, this is Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast on Finally Friday.
Change is hard for me because I'm not focused on it. So what do you need to change about that? You need to focus on yourself. How do we do that? We don't become blind to everything around us, but we have an incredible desire to help ourselves. You know how people say, may I help you? Ask yourself, may I help myself? Give yourself permission to help yourself. Because if you're always thinking about making the change, but never doing anything about it,